The way I got into thrifting initially was I would always just be going to garage sales and estate sales with my buddies, just like trying to find cool stuff. And then I saw this sign that said vintage Levi's and old t-shirts. And this is actually one of my good buddies now that we're still like doing business together. And it had the sign. He had racks of stuff outside of his house in Hermosa Beach, and I was just looking through her stuff, and I was like, wow, this is sick. At the time, I was buying like Supreme and Palace and all that stuff. I knew of like Melrose Trading Post and stuff. So I saw all this stuff. I bought a bunch of stuff off of him, and then I was like, damn, all this stuff is like way sicker than like Supreme and stuff. I'm just like not really about it. I was always the one in school also that was just like wearing different things than everyone else. Like I remember, dude, in like 4th grade, I was just wearing like tight, skinny crew jeans. I was like trying to get the skinniest jeans ever with like these big puffy DC shoes and all this stuff. So I don't know, I just like always had an appreciation for clothes, and then just like saw the vintage and just like the whole community behind it. And then it was probably like a year after I like started to thrift is when I like started my Instagram and had that all going.
How's it going, brother?
Pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing? Everything good?
Chilling.
Sweet, sweet. So I heard you got like a pretty dope Arty collection. Heard whispers about it. Seemed like little previews of it.
Yeah,
and,
I got a couple tees.
For sure. Wanted to come check it out, see
sure.
what you got.
Yep.
So let's get started. All right, so you got the crazy Arty collection. So a couple of pieces right here. This is the Arty collection right here.
Yes.
Pretty massive already. So like, what kind of artists do you have in here? Like, who are your favorites?
MC Escher, Keith Haring, we got Dolly, we got a little bit of Van Gogh in there, and yeah.
So sick. It's massive. Look at all those colors on there. That's wild. So a few of them that I kind of just picked out that I thought were really crazy are like, so this is right here is a Haring, Keith Haring. Got the signature right there. Love the colors on this one, just like the neon colors on it.
That's a good one.
And you don't really see long sleeve ones,
No.
which is pretty crazy. So, and then this tag, Black Anvil, that's like a early 80s from when I've seen it.
Sure.
Yeah. Is this one dated or it's just got the
No, there's no
signature?
date on it, but it's probably early 80s or so, yeah.
Crazy. I've never seen this one. So like, what's the story on this one?
So basically there was this dude that, he just hit me up, seeing that I was posting a bunch of Keith tees, and was like, yo, I've been doing this for a while. I used to go to Keith's pop-ups in the 80s in New York, and was like, I know that they would go to a good home, so he just like started shooting me messages of all of them, and I ended up buying about 5 or 6 of them, and that one caught my eye, and I was like, yo, let me get them all, and I just cashed them out, bought them all.
Wow. So he saw, because your Arty collection, I only know about it. You don't really promote it. You don't put it out there too much. Like, yo, check out the Arty collection.
No.
You'll like show like little shots, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I found out about your Arty collection because you actually bought a Keith Haring for me and mentioned that it was for your collection.
Yeah.
And then after that, I would notice like every once in a while you'd post something in passing of like 4 Haring tees that I've never seen.
Yeah.
And so I was like, he must have a pretty, extensive collection.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's just like, it's what I'm most stoked on, If I find a Keith tee or an MC Escher tee, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
Say if I find like something like this, okay, this is a sought after Mickey tee, $300-400, whatever. I'm stoked on it. I can get my money, but I find a Keith tee that's not as much money. I'm just excited that it's gonna be in my collection.
Yeah. So this is where your passion is, because I feel like that's what the show is all about. It's like not only just not the money stuff, but also just what is it about, what attracts you, what do you feel passionate about?
Yeah,
and it sounds like it's the art tees for you.
So VintageMaterials is just my platform where I'm selling things and showing off things that I like specifically for myself, and things that I don't necessarily 100% like, but someone else will enjoy it just as much as the next person.
Which one did you want to show us? Which one? Because you pulled that one out, and I was like wondering what's up with that one.
Just the reason why I wanted to show this one off is because it's like, I'd say like, I don't know, back in the day, fraternities were making their own T-shirts.
Yeah.
And this is just like completely handmade fraternity shirt where it's like I don't know, I can't really tell if like, what do you think? This is like screen printed? This is like screen printed on and they just like drew it on?
It definitely looks hand drawn.
Yeah.
I'm glad you pulled out like a fraternity shirt because I come across a lot of dope ones. Like I had one that had like, it was a Rolling Stone cover with like Jim Morrison on it, but then like Ren and Stimpy were in the corner and like, it's really dope the way they used to do that. But yeah, so they're like, on this one, it's kind of like a Grateful Dead kind of thing going on at the bottom.
3-day party.
Yeah.
we got the keg, the bong, dude throwing up outside.
This dude's just getting launched out of the chimney right here. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
It's just wild how they used to do it, but it's just nothing like now, you know?
Yeah. So you're a Herring fan. Going through your Arty collection, I think one of the pieces that, I don't know why it just sticks out to me, like that, but that's art, right? It just speaks to you. One artist that really stands out to me that I'm always impressed with his work, and just when I find t-shirts, that's what I get hyped over, is MC Escher. So even on Vintage Awards, like if you find a pretty unique MC Escher in the wild, I'll repost it because I just think it's just crazy how, I don't know how it came about making t-shirts from his art, but someone who was doing it had a lot of love for his art because they did like all over prints, single prints, like just so many different designs of his work. So the one that of the MC Eschers that you have, because you have a few in there, how many would you say in total? Do you know off top? It's
definitely about 10 or so.
For sure.
10 to 12.
The long sleeves are great, the all over prints, the four-sided joints. But this one right here is cool just because I love the all over print ones. The all over print ones are really cool. Also, the ones that have color, because a lot of his stuff was like black and white artwork. Exactly. So when you see the color ones, those kind of just always, catch my eye. So this one's got this design, which I can't think of what the name is, but pretty much when it's a pattern where there's no gaps in between. So you see in this one, there's like the fish, and then there's the bird and the fish, and then the bird, and like they could have made the whole shirt like that without any gaps in between the design. I forget what that design is called. Somebody's gonna know. But there's a progression from like the fish to the bird to the ships to the fish, and it's just really awesome, down to the horses. Yeah. So MC Escher, one of those artists whose work always like fascinates me. I got to sit there and like look at the intricacies of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so to find like all over print is crazy. I don't think I've ever found one in the wild. And then also to find one with color on it is super cool. While we're on Escher, I'm gonna pull out this other one right here too. And this one is cool because it's got color on it, nice graphic on the bottom like that, and then they got like this like kind of design, this like spraying kind of splatter paint on it. Yeah. And this is a very famous drawings of his where he's holding the reflective ball. And yeah, it just looks really dope. So just a lot of variations, and I'm always interested in seeing what people find. So yeah, MC Escher, it's fire.
What really got me into like art in general was just like, it was kind of just graffiti, just like the concept of it all. I had a buddy in high school, Blake, that was I would always see him in class drawing on these postal slaps and like putting up his name, and I was like, yo, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing with these? Like, they're priority stickers, the ones that we put our labels on. And he's like, I'm putting them around, and then I eventually like would see them on my like all over our school and stuff. And then I was like, yo, let's kick it. We kicked it. He was showing me like how to write stuff, how to do letters and everything. I eventually like got my own character and stuff. And then I just got super interested in like street art, and just like it's exhilarating. Just like, I didn't necessarily like go out. There was a couple times where I would do it, but I didn't necessarily like go out and do like huge bombings on walls or anything. I was just like putting up slaps. I'll still like put up slaps occasionally. I have a little character that I write and whatever, but I've always been like going to museums. My mom's an artist. She's been an artist. She was big in the 90s. So I was always like, she was always showing me things, and I was going out and doing different like art shows and stuff with her. So yeah. That same one. You don't really see this that often. I posted this one on my Instagram and I had a bunch of people hit me up. XXL my size. Wish it fit me, just a little too short. I'm a taller dude, so it's hard to find tees that fit me. But This was from that same dude with the long sleeve, that lot that I got. He was like, yo, I got these tees. Sent me pictures, and I was like, let me get it. Got all of them, and I don't know. This one's just a sick one.
So what does it say right here on the bottom? Choreographer Bill T. Jones, painted by Keith Haring, and photographed by, can't say that name, London, England, 83. 83, that's crazy. Yeah. So dope. Yeah. So there's actually even, this reminds me of that other tee that has him like painted up like that, and like his dick is out, like he's like doing like a, you got that one too? Yeah. So that must have been like that time. Yeah,
that one's wild, man.
Yeah.
I found this one probably like 2 weeks ago, and I posted this one on my Instagram. I was pretty hyped on it. The second Picasso find. First one I sold off pretty quick, and then this one I was like, gotta keep it, throw it in the collection. And yeah, this will probably be one that I hold on to for a minute now.
That's pretty dope.
I haven't really seen this one either.
Yeah, sick. I don't know why it adds something to it when it's got like the French.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
I think I like that better than just like the plain ones with like, you know, the classic face or whatever.
Dude, I just had one recently. It was for a Detroit Jazz Festival. Did you see that one?
No.
And it actually, it's like, it's got the Haring characters.
That all over print one?
No, it was like a black one on Screen Stars, and it was like purple and pink design on the front, and then it's like it's for this Detroit Jazz Festival.
Okay.
But it looked like straight Haring work because it's got like the Haring characters on it and stuff. But it also had an Andy Warhol signature at the bottom. It had Warhol and Haring on it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was super sick.
Damn. Right here. So I was stoked on this. I was hitting bins all day, and I was like over it. It was probably 2 o'clock or so. I had a couple more hours at the bins, and I was just like, I'm just gonna just head home. And then I stopped by. There's this little thrift that on my way home. It's like a mom and pop one. There's a dollar rack outside, and I just see it right there. When I'm going by, I pull over immediately, and I was like, yo. And then I never find anything at that thrift ever. It's just like, I would go to it all the time when I was like only hitting the racks. Now I'm just like at bins all the time. But just saw this from the side of the road, and I was just like, damn, this one's sick. And it's like, it's got a, you know, it's got storage fade on it, but I like it, you know. It's like someone probably had this folded in their house forever. Yeah. And then realized like, oh, I'm just gonna donate this, and then now it's mine. So
that's sick.
I was stoked on this one. Saw it from the side of the road.
That's dope. So what's like, do you have like a plan for these pieces, or is it just like still collecting, still just?
I mean, not really. I've been talking to my buddy Elliot, 194 Local on Instagram, and he has a store in London, and he collects like skate tees and stuff like that, and does a curation with his buddy, and he's like, yo, maybe fly out one time, do like a little pop-up of all the art tees, because he tries to buy them off me all the time, and I'm like every time I'll post one over, he's like, yo, let me get that. I'm like, nah, man, I'm just gonna hold on to it for a minute. Yeah. And but I don't know, maybe you just like start to travel, bring them around, show people what I have, and
that'd be cool, man.
Put them up for sale, but like not even necessarily travel to sell them, but just like to show them. Yeah, exactly.
No, I get that. For the same reason that like these aren't all on your Instagram, or like you have an Instagram just for them. It's okay, but it's okay for us to come through and check them out.
Yeah, for sure.
It's more like just sharing them, just to show, not necessarily to make money or to get clout off of them. Yeah, I know what you mean exactly, for sure. So is that it for the art tees right there?
Yeah, here's one more that's pretty cool.
All right.
I just have never seen this one ever. I've never seen anyone post it. I bought this off of someone a while back. Yeah. But it's just a MC Escher with the little guy running off of it.
Yeah. So he's known for doing this like this architecture that kind of just doesn't make any sense, like stairs leading to nowhere and like roofs that are floors and shit like that.
Yeah, like the classic like the circle stairs or whatever, and they're all running.
And so then it kind of goes into like this puzzle pieces, and then the puzzle pieces, and I've seen this too, like with the alligator artwork. I don't know if you've seen that one. Yeah. The puzzle pieces then become figures, and then what's cool about this one is that they go around to the front. So this is actually the back print, and they go around to the front. So this is what I mean when I was saying earlier, like there's so many variations of MC Escher shirts that it's just interesting, that boardroom meeting where they were like, yo, we're gonna make all these, at the Andazia headquarters, because that's like the tag that they use a lot. And they were like, yo, so, give us some ideas for how we're gonna, work his artwork onto t-shirts. And that's probably how we got this shit. I don't know. That's how it plays out in my head.
For sure.
So yeah. So beyond the, so now we're gonna go into. So I came over here for the Artis, but
Yeah.
I feel like I'm, feeling jazzy enough to ask you about the other stuff that you got right here because you got so much great stuff. So back here we got the music tees. Yep. Over on that rack you have stuff that you're gonna be putting on your website soon. What's the website gonna be called?
ShopVintageMaterials.com.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll probably say in the next like 2 or 3 months it'll be out.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure. So looking forward to that because I already peeped that rack and yeah, fire on there. So we came over here for the Artis. You have so much more stuff, but not just so much more great stuff, but also another collection that I wasn't expecting, and that's the Bart tees. Yeah. So how did you get into why do you have so much Bart stuff?
I don't know, man. It's just like I was a Simpsons fan, but I can't back it up and say like I know all the episodes and all that.
Right,
you know?
right.
It was always like my older brother. It's just kind of nostalgic. My older brother would be like sitting in our downstairs room, and he was watching The Simpsons, and I would just kind of like be watching over and like watching it. You know, I'd watch it here and there, but I just like the graphics on them are just crazy, and I kind of got a couple, and I found a bunch of them, and I just realized like, why not just like put them aside?
Yeah.
I wasn't really selling them that much when I was posting them for online.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, so I was just like, I'm just gonna like keep stacking them and just sell them off eventually, and so I just like kind of have them sitting, you know.
So you have like the '89 ones from when the show first started. Like this one's from '90. You can kind of tell by the artwork too. Like this, like Homer still looks a little funky right there, even in 1990. But like this one, I know for sure is '89, right? Because sure enough, like it usually has a year right here. Yeah, so right there it says 1989. So like the lines are thicker, kind of shakier, you know. As the years went on, like they got better with it. In here you also have like your bootlegs in there.
So these were all those ones that came out of Colorado.
Right.
I wasn't sure. I don't know. I heard a bunch of people saying, "Oh, they're reprints or whatever."
Right.
I'm still not sure about them. About it, but I still think they're sick ones.
So the Colorado incident, basically what happened was the bins out in Denver, Colorado, like a bunch of dead stock they were dead stock, right?
Yeah.
Dead stock bootleg,
just
like
loads of them.
rap tees, and then like just like what would you classify that? Like stuff that they would sell like at a hip hop store, like a record store maybe in the 90s. Just a lot of like, there was like Vanilla Ice, Snoop Dogg stuff, like all the rappers 90s, and a lot of like bootleg stuff like this. So like We Bebe Kids, and then like a lot of like Black Jesus stuff, and this one right here, Crack Kills, and so there was like hundreds that came out, right? I remember that, and I think actually for the Vintage Awards, David Meets World was the winner of like biggest come up, I think. Yeah. So
weren't you
so
in
these are
Denver
pieces.
when that happened?
Dude,
Right
okay.
after?
So this is part of the story. Yeah, I was in Denver that week. That week when that happened, I was because there's like 3 bins in Denver, right?
Yeah.
So I was at those bins the day before, and I was with my girl because at the time she was thrifting too. And so we're like there all day, and we didn't get much. Like I kind of had a good day, but she was like, dude, there's nothing for me, so let's go hit the other, the one in the other town. And I was like, I really want to stay at this one, hit this one again.
Kind of feeling.
Yeah, I was like, but whatever, let's do it for you, like, Dude. So the next day we go to the other spot. It's okay, whatever. I link up with my homie out there. Shout out my boy Sack Thrift too, lives out in Denver. Link up with him, and when I get there, he's there with the Heat Exchange, who's also out there.
Yeah.
And he just got a trash bag full of just like dead stock, like New Jack City, the movie, Boys in the Hood, just a bunch of crazy like rap tee style, like dead stock. I think I bought like some Spike Lee movie. I forgot which one it was. Mo Better Blues. Just like a beautiful mix of just these dead stock, like T-shirts of that, that kind of like classification. And I missed it by a day. If I would have got there the day before, I probably would have had a piece of that. But I don't know, man. That's why I don't think it was fake, is because a lot of people got their hands on it. You know what I mean?
A lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's fake," but I'm like, you can't really fake that. Who's gonna bring in that amount of like tees into a bins? Because people were like, I was seeing videos of it in the bins. I'm just like pulling like big stacks.
Yeah.
I was like, no one's gonna do that.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many other things that if you wanted to, you could fake it.
Right.
Just to like get the clout or whatever.
Right.
But I don't know.
And but the main thing for me that made it seem that I knew I was like, there's no way this could be like fake, is that there was some like rappers in there that were so obscure that it's like, why would you even do one on this like rapper that I've never even heard of? You know what I mean?
For sure.
This 9 Inch Nails joint is sick. Long sleeve, just like the long sleeves are just, they just hit, you know, they just hit different. But I love this one because I found this one myself in a bin, and I was just pretty stoked about it when I found it. So to see you have it right here kind of just brought that feeling back.
Yeah.
It's kind of dope, like when you were talking about the Picasso piece earlier too, how just you remember when you found it.
Yeah.
Also with the herring, you remember you were driving, it was a bad day. Like it's interesting the memories and the feelings that seeing these tees invokes when you see them again or when you revisit them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like obviously I haven't found all of these shirts. I found a decent amount or whatever, but I could pick out, if you go through every single one of them, I could pick out which one I have found and remember exactly where it was from and all that.
What the hell? Look at this.
Yeah, that one's wild.
So Bart, just do it. Bart knows Nintendo, man, and he's playing like, this is kind of weird. I don't know what this is. This video game? Because he's also wearing like a Georgetown shirt.
Tee, I don't know. This was a funny story. So I went to a garage sale, and this was bundled up like under the cash register. There's nothing else. I got that. I told the lady how much. She says, "Oh, this other guy wants it. If he doesn't come back in 30 minutes, you can get it." And I was like, "All right." So I waited 30 minutes. I was just chopping it up with my homie, like, "Yo, or do you think we're gonna get that tee?" And then this lady goes, "Hey, I have a bunch of T-shirts like in my house right across the street. If you want to go come check it out." So we go check it out. Dude, she's pulling out all these crazy tees. Ganja University 70s Maui Wowie like weed tees.
Yeah.
That 70s Mickey tee where he's got a roach clip smoking a doobie. And then she goes, "Oh, I'm not going to sell any of them. I used to wear these back in high school."
Yeah.
Basically just like teased us a bit, showed us the T-shirts because she's like, "Oh."
She just wanted the clout.
Yeah, she's like 60-year-old lady that wanted the clout. You know? But eventually like went back to the sale and like I didn't
ended up picking it up.
Yeah, so I grabbed that one.
That's awesome.
It drove like an hour to get that, but you know, it's worth it.
Yeah, but it's sick.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely one I've never seen. That's crazy. So when that lady was showing you the tees, were you getting all hyped up on them or like?
Oh, dude, I was. Yeah, but she told us in the beginning, like when she was like, she's like, "I don't know if I want to sell them, maybe," and I was like, I'm gonna.
Because she probably saw you guys getting hyped and was like, "Man, no, I'm gonna hold on to these."
But I realized I was like, I'm gonna get these shirts. Like I'm gonna try my hardest. But she was just not having it.
Yeah,
I got her phone number, her email, and I've been like texting her, trying to call
blowing her up.
Oh, this is nothing. I gotta go to her house, knock on her door for anything to happen,
For sure. All right, so this one right here is dope. Just because I love this movie, it reminds me a lot of like my early 20s when I would just hang out with friends and just like smoke and watch movies all day.
Yeah, for sure.
And one of the movies that we used to trip out on all the time is this one right here. And even as a kid, like when I saw this in theaters, like I think I saw him as Jim Morrison before I actually saw Jim Morrison as Jim Morrison. You know what I mean? Like this movie was big. My parents watched it, and this graphic is just dope. I'm really like a fan of like fiery, flamey graphics on vintage tees right now. So yeah, we got what's his name? What's this dude's name? Val Kilmer as Jim Morrison in the movie Doors. Long sleeve. This is like pretty much dead stock condition.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, so great 90s movie. Big fan of movie tees, big movie buff. So this is one that stuck out to me that I wanted to just bring up. And this one right here, I'm going to let you go ahead and do that one because that one's sick.
I was just super stoked when I found this. I saw the head popping out like this and I was like, oh, it's just a boob tee, and then I pull out the whole thing. And I would say this is probably one of my favorite finds, And then I saw the Pulp Fiction. I hadn't seen this one before. I posted it. I had a bunch of people offering me, and I was just like, I'm just gonna hold on. I didn't even know what to price it at. I was like $100, $200.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm just gonna hold on to it for now. I'm sure if I like posted it again, I'll get someone that would pay up for it. But I don't know. I'm just gonna hold on to this for now.
Yeah, if I found that personally, I would keep it. Big fan of that movie, and like that's just a dope parody.
I'm probably gonna get a bunch of hate for this, but I've only watched half of Pulp Fiction.
Oh shit! Don't worry.
It was probably like
we're gonna have to edit that out, bro.
It was probably like 2 or 3 years ago. My buddy's like, "Yo, let's watch Pulp Fiction." And I was like, "All right, let's do it." We started watching. I was like, "Dude, I can't do this." I don't know. I definitely need to try it again. I'm sure it'll be.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a classic. So.
For sure. It's a classic.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
Got the Bob. Got the other Bob.
Couple Bobs.
Got the Marilyn Monroe.
That's the one you actually found.
Yeah,
huh?
that's one that I actually found.
And the rest of these are all hunted?
Yeah, these are all just like trading and then buying off of people.
Mm-hmm.
Got the MLK, Jimmy.
Which one's your fave?
Probably the Marilyn Monroe. Just because I found it. Yeah.
Is that Jim?
Yeah.
Sick.
Bowie. Hell yeah.
That's a recent one right there, huh?
Yeah. I like these two right here. Just because they're like, they look like they go together.
Mm-hmm.
The colors on it's like, it's just wow. They don't make things like, they're not doing this on t-shirts. You go to Zoomies or whatever, wherever the kids are shopping. They're not doing anything like this at all, where it's like they're screen printing on the collar.
Onto the collar, yeah.
All that. It's just wild how much effort would go into a single t-shirt. And I've been told, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard that like even back in the day these were like $120.
Oh really?
I'm not even like 100% sure on that, but
yeah,
that's just what I've heard. Also heard that the reason for the bleach, the bleaching method, there's a Clockwork Orange, is so it would like break down. I'm not an expert.
So they eventually wanted it to get worn in.
Yeah, so it would have the wear on it.
Yeah, that's so sick.
I don't know, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, because I've heard a lot of people say like usually when you find mosquito heads they all have like blowout, but if that's how they were intended, then that's even better. That's sick. So there's the mosquito heads, and this is the stuff for the website over here.
Yeah. Like people are always asking me like, oh, you got a website I could buy this off of? And I'm like, no, not yet. I mean, you could just PayPal me, but not everyone's down to just like send PayPal or Venmo, like, and just like have trust.
Yeah.
Even if you have a certain amount of followers or whatever, doesn't mean that like anyone can scam anyone.
Right.
You gotta look out for yourself.
That's true, and like that's why I did like that podcast episode talking about Instagram transactions, because that's super unique when you think about it. Like not everybody is the people who are down to do that. It's pretty kind of special. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So. And then when I have really good days selling on Instagram, I wondered to myself, like, I wonder how much I would sell if I had just a straight website where people could just go on with their card. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because I sell a lot, but then also I don't sell a lot to people who are like, do you accept credit card?
Yeah.
Like that's like the majority of that transaction falls off. Exactly. Like they're just like, nah, I'm straight on. Once in a while, I have a dude that'll give me his credit card info, and even me, I don't like to do it.
Yeah, I'm not dumb.
I guess because I wouldn't do that shit, but this is sick. This is a Sandman.
This one's crazy because I was at an estate sale. Here, I'll show you. I was at an estate sale, and so I found a bunch of these tees. And this dude bedazzled like all of them. He bedazzled like every single one of them, and was just going off, you know.
Yeah.
And this I think I found like a Polo Aztec jacket.
Yeah.
And some guy found that before I did, and was like, "Yo, I'll take all the beads out.
Yeah.
If you trade me that jacket." And I was like, "All right, it doesn't fit me." No one was like hitting me up about it. And I'll just trade you for it. So if you could actually see the little holes in his, he took all of them out. I was like, dude. How long did that take you? You know.
What's cool is that it didn't even do like bad damage. Oh, that's how that's how it looks with the beads in right here. And then so he took the time to just take everyone very carefully too, because as you could see on this one, there's like barely any noticeable. Like you can't. I wouldn't be able to say like, oh, this used to be beaded. So yeah, this one's dope. This is one of my favorite Metallica tees, just because I've always loved this song since I was a kid. And when I saw this tee, I was like, who's this? I didn't see the tee till after I started doing this. And I was like, that's funny that they would just put this old dude on there.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, he's the Sandman. And, like, he's even, like, dropping sand out of his hands. So this is a fire-ass tee from 92. Crazy.
There's no reason to it particularly. I post things just... like sporadically, I guess. Maybe I'll post a picture of them all. There's no reason why I don't put them all in one picture or make a separate Instagram. I just I don't know. I'm kind of just like building it and seeing what I do with it. And
Because I think that's what people are gonna ask when they see this. Is they're like, Why does he just have all those?
Yeah, what is he do? What is he doing with like thousands of dollars just sitting here? It's like, I don't know. Sell the stuff you don't necessarily care about. Keep the stuff that you really do care about. I think is like the way to do it. You know.